Black here from Casa Black Gaming, where I get right to the point with all of my guides so you can get back out into the verse. So today let's talk about the RSI Taurus. I have some useful info and some changes from my last build I did with this ship, which should help make you feel more comfortable and able while carrying cargo. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and if you need more help or just want to chat about all things Star Citizen, consider joining our Discord channel, all links down below. Now with that out of the way, let's get to it. So a month or so ago I made another video about the constellations as a whole, and I've since learned a lot more when fighting with this ship, so I wanted to do a solo video for the Taurus in particular. Much of this video will pertain to some of the other variants that we are not discussing, such as the ship components and missile types, but the others can deviate a bit with missile counts, and of course a couple of those could swap some weapons around depending on their use and targets. But this loadout is specific to the Taurus, so keep that in mind, and if you have questions about the other ships, I'll gladly answer those in the comments. Let's go ahead and go with the systems first, which will be identical across the entire Constellation class of ships. For the shields, I went with the FR-86, which can be found at Cousin Crow's or Dumper's Depot on Area 18. For the Quantum Drive, I chose the XL1, also found at Cousin Crow's, so I'd honestly just go there to pick up the bulk of these components. This engine is king and probably your most important purchase, since hauling cargo will be your main purpose with the Taurus, and time is money, and this drive will get you there faster than the others. For the power plants, I went with two of the JS400s, also found at Cousin Crow's. You can stop here and those purchases will all come up to whatever the rolling numbers are showing you here. As for the coolers, you can skip these since their benefits are pretty minimal until a components revamp is done, but if you insist on buying them anyway, you can grab two of the Avalanches from Cousin Crow's as well, which will set you back a total of just over 450k for the whole group of stuff, so you can save 120,000 by skipping those, your choice. Alright, so now let's move on to the weapons. So with the Taurus being such a huge ship, is not exactly known to be agile, and for most players who purchase this as a cargo hauler, you might also be running solo, which is completely doable, but what if you come under fire? Odds are it will be small fighters that come after you, so my advice for those situations is to keep the stock laser repeaters that come with the ship, which are also on gimbals, so those 4 CF447 Rhinos are what I suggest keeping. Having them on gimbals means you will land more shots as those ships fly around you. Now keep in mind that smaller fighters will know your weak points and try to tear up your rear or go underneath, since the Taurus only has a tractor beam on the bottom, so you will still need to roll and pitch to move around the best you can. But if you only had forward firing weapons, you'd be screwing yourself. Now having a person up in the man turret will help you, but still you'll be better off using those two CF227 Bulldog laser repeaters that are in the turret currently, because laser repeaters have a faster firing rate, making them ideal for those fast swarming targets. So with this build, you have nothing to buy in terms of guns. Now if you want to do bounties, I suggest you could swap out two of the gimbaled weapons, which by default you can only swap out two. The other two are fixed in place, and you could switch those for two of the size 5 fixed CF557 Galderines, which are supposed to be picked up at Area 18, but with the Area 18 center mass elevator messing up for 317.1 and probably not being fixed until the next update 317.2 in a few weeks, I have heard many players have not been able to get this gun as it's not currently showing up its center mass on New Babbage for some reason as well, where it's listed. Hopefully they resolve this as well for the next update. Now yet another option if you're going up against larger ships and those higher tier bounties is to go with 4 laser cannons instead of those laser repeaters, in which case I would suggest 4 of the Omnisky 12s, which you can find on her L4. I would still keep the laser repeaters on the man turret through all of this. Once again, if you want to remove 2 of those gimbals for 2 fixed forward facing larger guns with the laser cannon build, you could also use 2 Omnisky 15s along with those 2 Omnisky 12s that are fixed. That choice is yours. And as for the missiles, well, the racks are glued in there and not swappable, so your only option there is to switch all 24 of your missiles over to Dominator 2s, which are the electromagnetic missiles that are currently the type of missile that work best as they hit their targets more than the other missile types, at least until there is a component revamp that makes the other missile types more competitive. And that is going to do it for this ship loadout for the RSI Taurus. I hope this video answered all your questions about the different loadouts for different situations. I love hearing from my space truckers out there, so let me know about some of your good cargo runs. I have a feeling the next 3 to 4 months are going to be exciting for us space truckers with all of the changes coming, so let's talk about that hype as well. Remember to be kind to your fellow gamers, don't assume every distress call is a trap, but be ready anyway, and stay positive, citizens.